Hey you, yes you, listen carefully. No one is going to show you this on YouTube. I'm going to show you how to create a Vapi receptionist. But this receptionist can book people into a Highlevel calendar. Now this Highlevel calendar uses API version 2 and you don't even have to build a separate Highlevel application. At the end of this video, I will tell you how you can get the complete snapshot for Chiropractor and Highlevel. I'll show you how you can get the prompt for Vapi and the make scenario, which is crazy by itself. We're going to go through it step by step so you can follow along and create it yourself. But this is going to be a totally insane video with massive value that you can just take exactly like this and sell to chiropractors, doctors, or dentists. The trick here is the API version 2 and not having to create an API application, which people had to do. And once someone is in a GoHighLevel calendar, we can start syncing things like Google Calendars. So let's get into this.
Hello, welcome to Align Well Clinic. How can I help you?
I would like to make a booking, please.
Absolutely. We have a free consultation promotion going on this week. Can I have your name to start the booking?
It is David.
Great, David. Can you please spell out your email address for me?
It's david@gmail.com, spelled DAVID@gmail.com.
Thank you, David. What date would you like to book your free consultation?
So this Monday at 3 p.m.
Hold on a sec. You're all set, David? Your appointment is booked for Monday at 3 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you then.
And when we come in here, you go to calendars. David's booked into 3 p.m. And now David's in there as a contact for us. Okay. First, we're going to start with the easy stuff, GoHighLevel. Then we'll transition over to Vapi and Make. Because what we're going to need at the end of the day is this scenario here. It looks complex, but what we need to do, the big trick here is creating either a contact into GoHighLevel or grabbing a contact detail from Highlevel, making that API version 2 connection, and then doing a booking or querying a calendar. So, like I said, let's start with the easy stuff. So at the end of the video, I'll show you how to get the snapshot. It's a cool little Chiropractor snapshot. It's got a couple of websites in here, pre-made templates. Let's go look at those. Don't want to dwell too much on it, but it is a cool little snapshot you can get as well. So it's got everything in here, cool tags, cool websites. It's got a couple of forms, a couple of automations, and it already has a couple of calendars in here as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go to settings, and I just created a new calendar, just a free consultation calendar, just for part of the demo, so it's in there. So you just go create a new calendar, and here go create, and all we need is the calendar ID. So it's just a blank calendar, and we just need the calendar ID. So first thing you do is you're going to copy that one, and you're going to save it somewhere. Then next thing we're going to do is you're going to come down here. So previously for Highlevel, you could just book calendars in, quite easy. Then they upgraded to this API version 2, and you had to create applications in the Highlevel marketplace, which used to be a real pain. You had to come to the marketplace and create actual calendar applications. So we don't have to do that anymore. So this is what makes it really easy. Is you're going to come to private integrations. I already have one in here, but you're going to create a new integration and give it a name. I already have the Vapi one in there. Vapi demo test. So what this does is it's going to create an API directly into this account, and it's going to give us some functionalities into Highlevel. So all you need to do is select all the calendar options here. So I'm going to select calendars, and all you do is just come and tick it along. And it's going to select everything with calendars, view calendars, edit calendars, anything in here that's got a calendar in there, you're going to select as all of them that you can, okay? Once they're all in there, you're just going to say create, and it's going to create a private API for you. It's all right, I'll copy and paste these and save it for myself, or I'm going to delete it afterwards, but you just want to copy that. So you're going to have 3 things in your little clipboard. It's going to be the calendar, so copy that one. I'll expire that one later so you guys can't use it, but I'm going to come to in my calendars, and I have my calendar ID, I have my API key that I just copied, and then when you go to settings or business profile, you have your location ID down here, so you copy that. So we're going to have those 3 things, and that's pretty much it we need for GoHighLevel. We'll come back and forth later on. But what you should have is, when you have a blank account, I'm just going to come in here and just going to select the plain, the free consultation. Spelled that pretty bad. And in here you can see I don't have any contacts. So now we'll go over to the Vapi side of things, and we'll create our Vapi assistant. So all we need is those 3 things. So now we'll create the assistant. Right, so I've just come into Vapi, and I've just brought out it's a basic assistant that I just created. I'll give you the prompt as well. It's just a way that I like to create my prompts on. But we're just going to have a welcome message saying, hey, welcome to Align Clinic. Just your role is going to be Mary. And the idea is just that this assistant is going to answer calls that's going to come in, and it's going to make bookings for a free consultation. So let's say you have a chiropractic company that you want to sell this to, and you want to run Facebook or any sort of promotions where they call this number and they can get their 30-minute free consultation. Like, this is going to be good for them. So it comes in and they can book it in. So all you have here is this is how I like to set up my prompts, and it's just got the role on the top, and that's what it is, what their task is. Your task is pretty much going to grab some basic details and try to book you in for a consultation. The specifics is, so this is where we just need to keep thinking on a little bit. We need to remember that to book someone into GoHighLevel, we're gonna need their name and their email address. Okay, so that's just the basic things we need to gather and grab from them. So we're gonna, if they ask or if they agree to an appointment, we need to grab their name, email address. Don't need to worry about a phone number, because the phone number is actually going to come in if you set it up for real. And here I haven't connected a Twilio number to it, because I'm just going to talk through this. So I've just taken phone number out, and I've taken it out in the steps here. But you can add phone number in if you want to ask for an alternative number. But what we need to do is grab their name, we want to grab their email address, and we just want to grab a date and time that they want to make that booking. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Vapi and Vapi functions and tools, it just means that after we've grabbed the details, we're gonna run the Chiro booking function tool, and all that tool does is it assigns variables. We're going to assign a name variable, an email variable, and a booking time variable. These variables will be able to take that information, or take those variables, and we're going to send it off to webhook and make.com, which we'll get to very soon. So just have a think about it. We'll go through the tool soon, but this is just grab the details, and we're going to run the chiropractor booking tool. Then I just have a little bit about the business, so just about section, and then we're going to come and give an example. So it's always good to give little examples when they answer, when they call. So for the rest, I've used everything the same, pretty much the default. The model, you can obviously change your GPT model. I actually kind of like to use the 4.0 mini cluster. it just reduces the lag a little bit, as you can see. And so transcriber, I don't have to change anything. The voices, I just have this in here because it's a couple of cents cheaper for the testing, but obviously I'd use 11 Labs, think it's by far the best and fastest. And then what you need to do here is under functions, you need to select the Chiro booking function. So that's really important. So I have different functions in here, and we'll go through creating that function soon. So initially you won't have anything in here. Come in, I'll tell you how to get the snapshot from Highlevel. I'll tell you how to get this and the make scenario, which we'll get to very soon. But it all will come down later on. So just need to remember here, and we're going to create the function next. So just need to add the function there. It's going to hit the publish. And now we'll come back to the next parts. So next we're just going to pop back. First we're going to pop to make, and then we're going to pop back to Vapi. So I'll show you what to do next. So this is going to be the make scenario that you need. And again, part of how I'm going to link it up and how you can get it. We'll get to the end of the video about how to get it. But what we need to do is we need to be able to call the Vapi function or tool to send data to a webhook. So what we just need to do initially is come to your webhook. You're going to add a new webhook, and you're going to copy that webhook address. So just hit copy, and that's all we need for now. And then what we do is we'll come back to Vapi, and I'll show you how to do this. So bring this one over. So we're going to come back to Vapi. You're going to create a new tool, and this is important for if you want to use mymake.com scenarios and tools. And you're going to need to remember the capitals, the exact spacing, and the exact wording. So what I mean by that is when we create a new tool, you're going to say create a new tool. You're going to come to make.com. You're going to paste that URL in there. I'll just add some random stuff in here. So it's going to be that, needs to be that exact URL. It's going to come here. Just do it. Copy URL. Okay. So it's going to how you can create the tool. Going to hit next. Now we just need to assign the variables. So this is important. We need to keep the name as name like this. You can't be naming it like this or anything like full name. It's just because we're going to pull these variables out later. If you do, you're just going to need to do some editing through the scenario, and I'll try to get to that as we go along actually. So so just the first one is name, and we're just going to say, so when do we assign this a variable is the name the caller gives when asked by the assistant. So like I said, we need a name, we need an email. No, so you made a mistake. Email, the email the user gives when asked by the assistant, and then we're going to add booking time. So again, you just need to make sure we add this booking time. And we'll swap back to my other tool, just need to see what we call that, but it just needs to be exactly the same. In fact, I'll just pop back on the side here. And I'll just go duplicate here. I'll show you what I mean by exactly the same. So in here, you need to have it written out like this: name, email, booking time, because that's going to be the actual variable. So booking time, the booking time the user gives when asked by. Okay, and then we're just going to give it the function tool. So I can't name it this because it's already in there. And just call it kind of the same thing. Okay, but you get the idea, and you're going to save it. Okay, So all this does is it creates a function in here. So when we come back to Vapi, to bring back Vapi here, this is the function that's going to appear in here. So again, just to make clear, we're going to call that function tool, and that exact name is going to be the function that you have in here. So it should have the second one in there as well. So, all right, I just want to have those two. So all that does is just going to say again, is that once we make the call, it's just going to take variables like this, and it's going to send it to a webhook in make.com. So now let's get to the make scenario. So this is where you need to really put your thinking caps on. Okay, so we'll get to that now. Okay, I just need you to think about this for a little bit. So if someone calls in with, that's not in your GoHighLevel at all, so a brand new person calls in and they say that their name is David and they want to make a booking, we're going to grab their contact details. Once we have their contact details, we're going to send it to GoHighLevel. Okay, so we're going to send the details to GoHighLevel. So if David doesn't exist in our GoHighLevel, we need to create a contact called David. Then we're going to take that contact and we're going to see if there's a spot available in your calendar to book. If there's no spot available, we're going to ask for more details. If there's a spot available, we're going to assign David to that spot. Okay, so this is where we need to think. So if Mary calls in and Mary is in our Highlevel contact details, we're going to find Mary's contact ID in Highlevel. Then we're going to see the booking time. If Mary is in the booking time, we're going to book her in. If not, we're going to ask for more details. But here's where the trick comes in. So if Sally calls in, and Sally is not part of your GoHighLevel contact, it's going to create a contact for Sally, and then it's going to try book Sally in for Monday at 2 p.m. If that spot is not available, it's going to give Sally some more details. Then it's going to run the scenario again, but Sally is then a contact already because we created a contact. It's going to not create another contact called Sally. It's just going to take Sally. It needs to find Sally's contact ID, and then it needs to book in a new available time. So therefore, it brings up the scenario. So really just play that over again in your head and just think about it a little bit. It's a little complex, but this is what the scenario looks like. And I'm just going to go through it, and then we'll go through actual tests with it. Right. So we're going to have the webhook. The webhook is going to listen. Once it listens out, it's going to receive data from Vapi. Then you're going to create, and again, I'll give you this, I highly suggest you go from this rather than building it yourself, but we'll go through it as much details as we can. So it's going to run the lead connector module. And what it does is it takes the email address that we've just sent. So Vapi is going to send us a lot of data, and the data there is under tools, functions, arguments. So there's the chiropractor booking function. There's the name and the email address. We're going to query this email address. So it's going to search it. If this email address comes back with information, so we come in here, so we've queried it, and we've queried Sally, and the output is 0. So there's nothing in there for Sally. So it's going to come to the router. It's got two filters. It says contact ID exists or does not exist. So if we query Highlevel and there's no one in there called Sally, because it doesn't come up with any details, so there's no filter, no contact ID, we're going to come here and we're going to create another lead connector module that we've connected to our chiropractor. It's going to then create, so it's a lead connector create contact, okay? So it's going to create the contact called Sally. So we're going to create a contact with an email and Sally. Once we have that, we do have a, actually here we do have a contact ID, which is, I'll show you a little bit down, a contact ID. So now we have a contact ID. So we've come in here, we've created Sally, and Sally now has a contact ID. Once Sally has a contact ID, then we need to start working on the time. So Vapi doesn't know any time, doesn't know what time it is. So if you say tomorrow, if you say next Friday, it doesn't know what time there is. So that's when we need to work out the time. So this is the little prompt to work out current time. And then again, you'll get all of this, so you can figure it out. But it just says you are provided a future time and date. And this is a conversion to work out what the actual time is. And we're using the Highlevel function now, which is the now function. And it just works out the actual time. So all this does is in the result is going to say, if we, for example, in here, we said we want to book in, oops. So we come here, come down. So you remember we said that tools function, the booking bot. For this example, we'll run through it. We said Monday at 2 p.m. So this will figure out what Monday at 2 p.m. is. And this is the time Monday is going to come up this time. So ChatGPT just works out a time for us. This is what this module does. Now here is where the beauty happens. And this is the same module that we're going to use in here, in here, in here, in here. So it gets used a couple of times. So all you're going to do is you're going to have the HTTP make a basic authentication request. So we're going to come in here. So you're going to add a basic authentication, and it's just a blank. No username, no password. Because we are using the API key, and I'll show you where that comes in. So it's going to be a post request. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the contact ID. From the contact ID, we're going to attempt to make a booking. And if we can make a booking, we're going to make it. If we can't make a booking, it's going to give an error. Okay, so just think about how that goes. So this is the URL we need in there. All these is pretty much default. It's going to be a post method where we're going to try and make a booking on a calendar. This is default. It needs to be there. The authentication needs to be in the header. So it's going to come through the headers. And then, so the bearer is going to be say that we're going to use our API key to connect to it. And remember earlier on, I told you to save the API key from Highlevel. We're going to put that API key right in there. Okay. So the next part is leave that blank. The body type is going to be raw. We're going to send it in a JSON format. And this is just from the Highlevel documentation. So all we're going to do is we're going to find our calendar ID. Remember, I told you to save the calendar ID. We're going to take the location. So it is your sub account. So your sub account ID, the calendar ID, and we're going to try to take the contact ID, which we created here. We created a contact earlier on for Sally. We're going to take that contact ID and we're going to make a booking. Okay, make a booking for the date that is given. And again, this is just all a big ChatGPT needs to put it in a font like this or in a format like this. So it's just going to go, if you say Monday, it's going to create the actual date and time for Monday in this actual format. And because I'm in New Zealand, it's +13. It's going to add it in that time zone. All right. So I really hope this makes sense. You just need to think about this for a little bit in your mind about going through it. I'm hoping to give the best examples and details as I can. But all it does is we're checking to see if there's a contact called Sally. If Sally is not there, we're creating a GoHighLevel contact. Once Sally has a contact ID, we are going to try book her in. We're going to book her in with API version 2, where we try, where we connect with our API module or API authentication. And we're going to come down here, we're going to connect to the calendar, we're going to connect to the location, and then we are going to create a booking for that time, okay? So if the slot is empty, it is going to book that time, okay? So it's either, so for this example in here, we'll go through it soon. So it's given a status code 400. Because that slot was not available, at 400 means error. So in this example, it's an error. Else it will give a filter and the contact ID will be 201, which means it made a booking, okay? These two are very important. It's a status code that we get from here, from this HTTP module. So once it connects, so let's just go through, let's say it connects back, then that's all good. All it does is going to give a positive message back to Vapi, and Vapi is going to, and Vapi is going to tell us that it's booked because we're sending a webhook request back to the same request, and we're just going to update the node. This is just a little extra. Don't have to have that in, but we're just going to find Sally and just going to say your booking is in there, and it's going to be a node made in there. All right, so now just think about this. So Sally has made a booking. Sally is asked to make a booking. We have Sally's details. Sally is not in our GoHighLevel, so we had to create Sally in our GoHighLevel. Once Sally is in our GoHighLevel, she tried to make a booking for Monday 2 p.m. However, Monday 2 p.m. you can't book because it gives an error code 400, and then we're going to start giving her different times, so different options. So we're going to send a message back to Vapi saying, hey, you can't book, but how about some other booking times? So we're just going to start editing some times in here. So this is given from someone else. This is really good, but it just creates a different start time and end time for an entire day. Okay, so let's say you say, I want to book on Monday 2 p.m. So we're just going to start the start time for Monday 2 p.m. And then this is just a different formatting. So you don't have to worry too much about it. It just formats the time and the exact start time and end time. So when you say Monday, let's say Monday 2 p.m., we're going to start with Monday in the morning and then Monday in the afternoon. So all that does is gives us two variables. It's going to create two variables, start time and end time. And we want to take those two variables and we're going to send it back to the Highlevel calendar. And we're going to ask, wait, what's the times available between these two calendars? So we're going to make another HTTP module request like in here. It's going to be the same blank one, no username, no password. Then you need to have this in here. This is the request. So we are asking for information. So it's going to be a GET request. You need to put this exact URL in, and you need to put your calendar ID in here. And we're going to ask for 3 slots in the time zone, Pacific Auckland, from the start time to the end time that we've worked out in here. All right. So I really hope this makes sense. We're going to send the request to that calendar, asking for the date and time for specifics. It's a GET request. This is the version again. Again, you need to put your authorization in there. Then this module is going to come back with a specific time in as well. So it's going to give a bunch of random time with data. So the not available slots is what we initially asked, on Monday 2 p.m. And the data it's going to give back is going to be a raw time frame that Highlevel just needs to format back into normal language. So I'll just move this along. Sorry, not Highlevel, ChatGPT. So you're going to get time in a different format. You can't say back to someone, hey, the time available is 24-23-2024 /0808800. It needs to convert that into normal language speak. And this is what this prompt does. I'm not going to go too much into it. It just says you're going to get a weird time like this. Just give a normal time. All right. Example input, example output. So you put examples in here. So, and then we're going to send that all back as a webhook function to Vapi, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it, if you want to think about it. So we're going to send the result back saying, sorry, that time is not available. I'll reply to you with, please select a different time between these results. Okay. So let's just rewind and think about everything again. Sally is going to call into Vapi. Sally is going to give her name and address. If Sally is not in Vapi, so we're going to first check Highlevel if Sally is in Vapi. If Sally is not in Vapi, it's going to give a in Vapi or not in Vapi code in here. So it has a caller ID or doesn't have a caller ID. So it does not have a caller ID. So therefore, Sally is going to come in here and we're going to create a Highlevel. We're going to create a person called Vapi in our Highlevel. We're going to create a person called Sally in our Highlevel. So once Sally is in there, we're going to format the time that she said. So let's say she said Friday at 2 p.m. We're going to have Sally in here. We're going to book Sally in. And then we are going to come through in here and we're going to try make a booking using the API version 2s and your API token and their calendar in their place. If it is available for to book, we're going to send a, hey, your booking is confirmed. If it's not available, we're going to send the details back to GoHighLevel via API. We're going to get 2 different times in there and we are going to tell them, hey, it's not available. And then the reverse is just simply true. So everything here is exactly copied. That if we do have a contact ID, so Sally does exist, then we're going to come through and just go through it normal. We don't have to create a Sally in Highlevel. And what quite often does, if once we have this route come through, Sally doesn't exist, so Sally will be created. Once Sally is created, it will try and make a booking. If the booking is not in there, then it's going to give you some times, and then we're going to run the scenario again, but the second time around, Sally will exist, so we're going to have to do the second scenario, okay? So I hope that all kind of makes sense, and let's go through an example now. So we're going to come here, we're going to say contacts, it's all cleared up, so there's no one in here, and we'll go through, I'm going to play this one, and it's going to come to my Vapi, and I'm just going to use the web function to talk to it.
Hello. Welcome to Align Well Clinic. How can I help you?
I would like to make a booking, please.
Absolutely. We have a free consultation promotion going on this week. Can I have your name to start the booking?
It is David.
Great, David. Can you please spell out your email address for me?
It's david@gmail.com, spelled DAVID@gmail.com.
Thank you, David. What date would you like to book your free consultation?
So this Monday at 3 p.m.
Hold on a sec. You're all set, David? Your appointment is booked for Monday at 3 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you then.
And when we come in here, you go to calendars. David's booked into 3 p.m. And now David's in there as a contact for us. Okay, now let's do the same and we try get Mark book in for the same time. So we still don't have a Mark in here as a contact. So we'll come and we'll try get Mark book in for the same time.
Hello. Welcome to Align Well Clinic. How can I help you?
Hello, I would like to make a booking.
Great. We're currently offering a free 30-minute consultation this week. Can I have your name to get started?
It's Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Can you please spell out your email address for me?
It's mark@gmail.com.
Got it. Just to confirm, that's mark@gmail.com, right? What date would you like to book in for your consultation?
This Monday at 3 p.m.
Give me a moment. Unfortunately, the slot at 3 p.m. is not available. Would you like to book for Monday at 2:30 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. instead?
Monday at 2:30 p.m.
Perfect. I'll get you booked in for Monday at 2:30 p.m. Just a moment. One moment. You're all set. Your appointment is booked for Monday at 2:30 p.m. We look forward to seeing you then.
Cool. So just like that, if you saw in the first scenario, it ran through, it created a mark in here, and then it had an error in here where it said Mark can't be booked in because the time slot's in here, and it gave Mark some new times. Mark is then given a new time, and once he's given a new time, it ends up that he is actually someone in our high level. So he's in here. So therefore we've run through the second half of it, and Marcus just created a new booking in here. So in here, in calendars, scroll up, Mark's in here for half an hour, and now we have a contact called Mark. So that's it. That's pretty much the summary of it. I just need you to think a little bit extra about it, and the fact that we need to juggle around between creating contact IDs once we have a contact and then sending it to Highlevel. So what I'll do is I'll share the link below about how you can get the Chiropractor Snapshot. So it's going to be a Highlevel snapshot you can import. It will have the website, it will have some automations, it will have some calendars in there, and then the next part is I'll give you the Vapi prompt as well that I've just used. Prompts you can edit and use as much as you want. And then I'll give you the make scenario. So the make scenario you're going to have to spend some time on, because you're going to import it. You are going to have to look at updating your actual module in here. I just want to save this. Where we go, we're going to have to look at updating your module, and then working through those authentication keys, if that makes sense. So you're going to have to go through them, work through them, and yeah, hopefully it works out for you. You're going to have to add your own Highlevel account, connect your sub account in here. You're going to have to add your own chat GPT module in here, and then you're going to have to create your different HTTP authentications through in these modules. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope it makes sense for you. Hi, thank you for watching, and I just want to remind you of my Vapi mini course that I will add this whole tutorial in and all the products in there. But when you click the link down the bottom, there's two links. One of them will be the mini course, and you can see in the mini course you will learn a lot of things, scenarios exactly like this, how to build them, how to integrate Vapi, how to have Make in there, how to connect Twilio. There is really a lot of information in this little mini course. Follow the link below. Just watch it. As I said, lots of modules in here for you to see, and I will add what I've done today in there as well. So really love it. Really great value. If you need to sell this, you can sell these AI agents easy for $5,000. Setup fees including monthly costs, and these little courses are just like it's a mini course, $97, under $100, and really make the most of it. Link down the bottom to both places you can get this. Thank you.